Good enough.
Okay, we'll go live in 1 minute. Someone's commented, so it must be live. It's just not updating on my iPad.
Is it live?
Well, that's why it comes up on mine, but it might just be my iPad.
Right, guys. So we're just having a few technical issues, but yeah. But we can see there's comments going now. So we are live, and we're going to do this now. Just give us 2 seconds. Well, you just watch out, mate, and then. Right. So today's live is all about. Well, it's about everything. It's about prep. It's about nutrition, training, and obviously recovery. We're in the recovery suite. So I'm going to talk to you a bit about what I've been doing so far. We are 11 weeks into prep now. So 16-week prep. We've got 5 weeks left to go. We've got Johnny in the background, who is a massive part of my recovery. We do deep tissue work every week, relentlessly, without fail. And as we get closer to the show, we then incorporate maybe a second physio if needed. Obviously, the body gets more and more tired, more fatigued, more risk of injury as I get leaner. So that's when we incorporate 2 sessions to make sure everything is on point. We will talk today about a few things that have been going on with injuries in this prep, but it's not something that's going to hold us back. It's just something we've had to work around, and it's inevitable. 21 years of training, I'm getting older, still want to push, still want to be the best version of me. So things are going to give way at certain times. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. But it's a positive thing because we're a lot further on now. Today we've got Normatec sleeves, which is the Hyperice Normatec sleeves. That is for lymphatic drainage, perfect after leg day. I did legs 2 days ago. I've already been on yesterday, and we'll be hitting them again today, just so I can get optimal recovery as we go into next week's leg session. We've also got the dreaded ice bath. Johnny hasn't been in for quite some time, actually, so this should be fun for him. I've actually been going in every morning around 6 a.m, only for 1 minute, and not because I can't stand it any longer. I just don't feel the need to. I get what I need out of the 1 minute, and I'm straight in the sauna after for 15 minutes. And I've just been doing that as a recovery wake-up session every morning after my fasted cardio, after my ice attention, after my posing practice, and it just kind of like sets me up for the day. So yeah, we're going to do a bit about that. So when I jump in, fire some questions at me, but don't think I'm going to be in there for 5-10 minutes. It'll just be a minute toe dip and then I'm out. Anything to say, Johnny, before we look at the questions?
No, I'm just not looking forward to this at all.
If anyone's wondering what I'm wearing, you're probably not, but if you are, this is released today. So this is the waffle range from Gymshark. I've got everywhere like straight leg joggers as well from last month's drop. So if you want to get anything like that from Gymshark, use Ryan for the code. It gets 10% off. It obviously helps me out, but it also helps you with getting some discount. Right, let's ask some questions. So a lot of the questions so far just saying good morning, champion, say hello, good morning. So we've got people from Brazil, Australia. What time is it in Australia? Like middle of the night now. 12 hours in front. Nice. So ask me any questions, guys, if it's like where we're at in prep, how we're feeling. Yeah, fire away. I'm waiting for this. Hopefully like the audio's okay on this. I know on the past we've struggled with it a little bit, but I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's smashing the goals. Obviously, nearly the end of the week. For me, I'm training 7 days a week at the minute. I know people might think that's too much and overtraining, but whatever you're enjoying it, whatever you're getting something out of the gym, and it's a positive environment, then why not? If I'm tired, I'll take a break. But at the minute, I'm so fired up for this Olympia. I want to be the best version of me, and I feel training 7 days a week will bring that out in me. What's your thoughts on Diet Coke on prep? So this prep, I haven't touched any fizzy drinks whatsoever. So when I first started like competing and bodybuilding, I was really old school, where it was green tea, water. That was it throughout every prep. And over the years, I've added Pepsi Max, Diet Coke, Coke Zeros, that sort of thing. It's never made a difference to the way I look or anything like that. And it's always helped me in the fact of having that like sweet craving. Some people think it actually creates more cravings from having that sweet touch on prep. But it's always been, it'll never really harm you the way you look. Obviously, there's the aspartame in there and things like that, what people are not massively a fan of. But as far as like your bodybuilding and how you look on stage, it wouldn't make a difference at all, no matter how much you have, to be honest with you. So if that helps and it keeps you away from full fat Coke, or it keeps you away from binging on food, chocolates and that sort of thing, then by all means do it. This prep, I haven't touched it. Can't say I'm missing it. I did miss it at the start, but I can't say I'm actually missing it too much, which is a good thing. Ask me that in 3 weeks' time, though. Obviously, we're still 5 weeks out. Why do so many injuries during prep? Well, there's an array of answers in that one. You can answer this one, Johnny, actually. Why do we get injured on prep more so?
I think it's the intensity that you train at, and you've got a time limit of, this is what we
You can hear you a bit better.
So yeah, this is what we not struggle with, but it's what can be a problem with the prep, is because you've got a time limit from when you start, say 16 weeks to show day, and within that time you can't really afford to be injured. So you cannot take 2 weeks off training, say shoulders or back or whatever it is, because it will affect you.
Yeah. Also, as well with body fat, as you come down in body fat, your joints, everything like that, become drier, leaner, and there is more risk of injury, unfortunately. And like Johnny says, when you're in a prep and you've got that end goal, you can't back off. You can't have a rest day when you feel like it, or if an injury is about to occur or you're feeling tired, you can't just back off. You've got to go full ham. So unfortunately, that is part of bodybuilding, and it kind of separates you from, I was going to say boys from men, but you can't really say that, can you? Just separates you. Right. Ryan has been following you for 9 years. Amazing. Love you from New Zealand. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. Any thoughts on how to bring up a lacking body part in the buffing season? So my biggest go-to on that, my biggest belief on that, is bringing up a second day of training. So my back came up massively last year, and it was because I introduced a second training session. So I trained back Monday and Friday. Some people might think it was overtraining, but it really did help. I could separate my thickness and my width type of movements up. I could get more out of the sessions. And I was also adding a lot more calories in on those days to really, really push, make sure I've got glycogen stores are full, making sure I've got energy and I'm ready to go on those sessions. So that was, for me, I think,
The results speak for themselves, don't they?
Yeah.
Last year, your back was completely different than it has been in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's mad, to be fair. So I would suggest that over anything. Any thoughts on that one? G, what's the most difficult part of the prep, getting closer to the show? We'll both answer this. What do you think my biggest...
Sleep.
Yeah, big difficult part of prep. Yeah, so probably sleep. Towards the end, I get sleep insomnia. And in my early career, I took it for granted because I was a single man, lived at home, lived on my own, sorry. So I could sleep and nap in the day and I had no worries. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're younger, you feel like you've got worries, but you haven't. When you've got a family, when you've got kids, when you have a lot of pressure, and the higher up the ranks you get, the more sponsors rely on you, the more you guys rely on you, and you put pressure on yourself more than you realize. So it goes into the evening. And for me, sleep deprivation has always been a huge thing the last 3 or 4 years, hasn't it now?
Last year was the worst.
Yeah, last year was the worst. And it's funny as well, because I had a few comments when I mentioned about how I was living on 3-4 hours sleep max, living on my sofa, and people were like calling bullshit and whatnot. And I wasn't saying that for views or for attention or anything. I was literally saying what I was doing, and people saying, well, you can't recover on that. I know you can't. I will 100% say you can't. my body and my mind was in a total mess last year. Like, and it's taken best part of this year to get back where I was, to get back right again, because yeah, it just wouldn't recover. I aged so much, and I just couldn't. I was in a bad way. So I would never suggest doing that. It's not something I was proud of at all. And like, if anything, it's probably made this prep so far a lot easier because I'm getting 6 to 8 hours now, and I haven't got the worries I had last year. That I am recovering better and sleeping better. But yeah, that's definitely the biggest part for me, is trying to juggle family life in the last few weeks, because obviously you've got a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old who don't understand why daddy's tired and not wanting to play and non-existent like a walking corpse. But hopefully he'll understand one day. And like I say, that's why we took the decision, me and my team, that we leave 3 weeks out, because that's the turning point. That's where you really are digging in deep. So I don't want my son to see me like that. I'd rather him miss me and then see me all cheery and amazing whilst winning the Olympia again. 2p. We will get on these normal texts in a minute. When will there be a new video on YouTube, bro? This is the new video on YouTube. We've got a raw and real one coming out soon, haven't we? Leg day. Yeah, we've got a leg day one coming very soon after this. So we are coming thick and fast on the videos. At 5 weeks out, how many calories are on and how low will you go? Also, how are you incorporating cardio? So, I don't count calories, never have done. I know roughly ballparking where I'm at. And as a ballpark figure, I start around 4,500 calories on prep, and I'll probably go down to around 3,200, give or take. Never go any lower than that. But I've never been somebody who's enjoyed that way of dieting. I'm somebody who likes to weigh my food, and then as I go into the show, each week I'll taper down in food, or I'll increase my expenditure. And as long as my body composition is changing, as long as the weight's coming down, the strength's still there, those kind of telltale signs have always been my indicators, rather than calories in, calories out. Just the way I work. I'm not somebody who's massive on statistics and analytics and that sort of thing. So I'll just keep it quite basic. And with regards to cardio, again, when I start 16 weeks out, we'll go 30 minutes steady state, because it's an increase from my off season when I'm doing nothing. And then maybe a few weeks in, we'll increase it to 45 minutes. And by the 12-week mark, I'll be doing an hour every morning, low intensity, fasted. How many times a week do you train abs?
Do I?
Yeah.
Once.
How many times would you recommend doing them?
A couple of times.
Yeah. So I would say the same. Twice. Yeah.
It's a muscle group.
Yeah.
But you can train the abs exactly like you can train any other muscle group.
Yeah.
If you add weight to crunches, they're going to probably get a bit blockier.
Mm.
And if you do more reps, it's just endurance kind of.
Yeah.
But also when you train, say, shoulders or anything like that, if you do a standing shoulder press, you're going to have to engage your core.
Mm.
So it's actually working as an accessory muscle anyway.
Yeah. A lot of like old school bodybuilders wouldn't ever train abs, because it's that there's no point, because you're using your abs on most big muscle lifts, like compound lifts, that sort of thing. But like you say, it's a single muscle part, and I've always trained them separate as a single muscle part. So I train them on my off season once a week on a Sunday, and then as I start prep, it's twice a week. And as we get closer, there's always some form of training each day. There'll be 2 main ab workouts in a 7-day split, but then there'll also be, each morning will be isotension and posing practice and basically plank work, just to keep my transverse abdominals tight and to be able to keep everything tight on stage. I've got to be careful with doing too heavy weighted exercises now, because I have got the thickness and it can be misconstrued as bloated or thick, like a bit of a belly, if I go too far with overtraining them or growing them anymore. So I'm now work on the opposite end of it, is keeping it tight and keeping it where it should be. It's 9 a.m. here in New Zealand. Right, thank you for that. Appreciate that, Donna. Would you like to change up last year's board shorts? Last year's board shorts?
Well, you got a new design this year.
Oh, what from last year? Sorry. Yes, I change them up every show. To be honest with you, I love this song. It's just come on in the background. This is my go-to song at the minute. Rihanna. It's an old song as well. You know, Run This Town. As soon as I hear it, it's train. Sorry, random. But yeah, we've got new shorts coming out. Gymshark are actually I've designed them. Gymshark's making them to a T at the minute, and the design process has been phenomenal. It just shows how big of a company and how advanced Gymshark are now. It took me 18 months to get Alta right, with probably 8 or 9 sample batches, keep coming back and forth, making changes. They nearly got it right first time, and they actually hand stitched it in front of me, which was just mad. We met the sewer, didn't we, Will? It's just incredible.
Florist, stylist.
Yeah, the dyers. Yeah, it was mad.
Will they be available?
Yes. Yeah. So the board shorts we're designing this year obviously won't be available before the Olympia because no one's wearing them before I wear them. But they will be being released, I think, on the Olympia on the day or the day after. So that should be cool.
Do you keep every short you've worn?
Yeah, I've got more. Yeah, I think I kept them more so for when I was designing Alta. Like, that cut's wrong. I like that blue. I like that, and so I could pick some. I was always a fan of Hurley's right at the start, but they were the baggier surfer shorts. So I like the design, I like the fabrics, but I needed more elastane in it, so that's why I added more elastane. So I keep everything, but some of them got bad memories. So to be honest, I've actually
give away.
Yeah. No, we could do a giveaway. The one pair I don't think I kept actually was that you were there, Johnny. 2020 first Orlando Olympia, which was in lockdown, and I just fell apart. I was a bag of shit. Not gonna lie, I came 8th, yeah, and I just as we came into Peak Week looking spot on, didn't we? Yeah. And just each day whilst I was out there, I was missing home. I'd got a newborn. Not making excuses, just things when they just don't go right for you. And as I stepped out on stage, posing wasn't great. I'd watered over somehow. So yeah, it wasn't the best.
Wonder if Alfie will follow in your footsteps. He's just started in the gym.
So Alfie, yeah, he's 4 next week, and he's already started training in the gym. So he knows his way around the gym. I brought him in twice this week now, and he's the only problem with Alfie, and he gets it from his dad in the early days, is he hates being told what to do. He's somebody who's Mr. Independent and wants to do it himself. So I'm trying to show him the right way, and he just doesn't want to know. He wants to do it his own way. And I admire that. I like how he's got his own mind. But when it comes to obviously weightlifting and stuff, he needs to do it right from the beginning. But who knows? You never know. I think if Amy's listening to this and hears that question, she'll be like, no, because it is a very, very weird sport that we do. It's a very subjective sport. It's a very selfish sport. No matter how you look at it, it's a selfish sport. It's an amazing sport, and I live and breathe it, and I don't know any other way in my life, but it takes its toll on people around you for sure. He's getting in. Johnny's getting in. Go on, Johnny. Go on, Johnny. Get in.
I'm putting it off.
Yeah. Go on. I think you've got this. I'm going to answer a couple more while Johnny's getting in. You got up now, mate. That's it. Thank you. Legend. Tell me you're an influencer without telling me you're an influencer.
Does RT have day passes available?
Yes, so RT Fit does have day passes available, and yeah, you can also use the recovery suite, that sort of thing, when you come down. It's actually amazing the amount of people we've had through the doors here in the 9 months we've been open. We've had people emigrate from America to actually move to England, to Retford, to be able to train out here every day, which is a big honour for me. I think that says a lot about the facility and what we've built down here. We've got people who've flown in solely from Australia just for 24 hours to be able to train here for a day. and then get straight back the next day. We had a big event here. It was mainly for members. I wanted to just basically give back to the community and say a big thank you to the members for what they've helped create down here on Saturday. But again, people turning up from Scotland, I think Ireland. We had Sunderland, Newcastle, Essex, and these are all 4, 5, 6 hours away from here. So yeah, it's a very nice place down here. And Johnny actually reminded me last week, I think it was, like, the community we've built, like, don't take it for granted, because it is hard to build a gym community. You know, like when you have a lot of egos in one place and people just want to come in and do their own thing. But I don't know how we've done it. I don't know if I can take credit for it or whether it's the team I've put together. But yeah, everyone's got time for each other. We've not had many dramas. Touch wood. This is me touching wood. And yeah, it's a nice place to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, it just creates, it helps a lot of people in many ways.
Yeah.
Whether that's physically, mentally.
Yeah, some of the stories that people have come, I've actually welled up a few times. I think it might be because I'm tired, but some of the stories that people have told me, like how this place has changed their lives, that for me is just, unbelievable. Words can't describe it, actually, to be fair. And it does make it worth it, because there has been times where I'm like, why have I done this? It's a hard thing to do, to run a gym. It's not as easy as you think it is. I was naive to it, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a breeze and quite cool, but there's some seriousness to it. Is there any way you can... Do you count your daily steps or not at all? I've never counted my daily steps. Out of interest, how many did we do in New York last year?
49,000.
49,000 in one day. It was when I won the New York Pro, and we just went all out. I got my bison burritos, which I cooked myself, rice and bison burrito, and we walked the whole of New York. Started in Central Park, and we just went everywhere. It was class, but 49,000 steps. But no, I do a lot in the morning. Like I said, I do an hour like incline walking, that sort of thing. But do you count the steps?
Nah, I just occasionally see how many I'm roughly doing. If I know I've gone on quite a long walk.
Yeah, you do walks and that, don't you?
But yeah, I just normally do the same hour walk every morning.
Nice.
And that's just like the regular thing. So.
Right, come on, Johnny, stop putting it off.
Well, just don't judge me, because he's 5 weeks out from the Olympia. So.
Oh yeah. Don't be mean.
Don't be mean.
He's actually shredded.
No trolls.
He's shredded. Go on, Johnny. It was definitely tense in his midsection there, wasn't it?
Hang on.
Go on, lad. Ryan Erin Switch. Yes, I remember that. Easy, Johnny. Dunk in straight away. Go. Head under. Dunk. Wuss it out, innit? Wuss it out. What's with deep breathing, Johnny? You all right there, lad? Oh dear.
I still think this is like 2 degrees.
Yeah, it probably is actually. I made out it was 7 degrees, but it's about 2 degrees in there. Cold therapy actually works, and I personally do it, and I learned from you for many years, and I watched you since 2018. I appreciate that, Coach Shreyash. Hopefully I've not butchered that, from India. Thank you. In which city in England is the gym based? We are from Italy, plan to visit England. I want to add this to our checkpoint. Also, oh wow, Dragos. Well, appreciate that. Thank you. If you do come over, you're always welcome down here. It's actually in Retford, which is Nottinghamshire. So it's just above Midlands. So it depends where you fly into. Manchester's about an hour and 40. Birmingham's like an hour and 20. So we're kind of like central. We're about an hour and 30 from London on a train. Does anyone want to ask where I'm at with training, with like how I'm feeling? I've just got the Olympia, anything like that? Anyone ask Johnny, see if his balls have shrank or if they're in his stomach?
Look at the six pack on the beast. Hope I look as good as him at his age.
Hey, I've seen one from Craig Williams, Johnny.
Oh, really? You're going to be a dad this week?
Is it this week?
Oh, this week, yeah.
Go on, Craig. Congratulations, Craig. Amazing, mate. Now you've got to grow up. He's put, stick that on your bloody vlog. Oh dear.
Good old boy, Craig.
Good old boy.
Right, 2 minutes.
Well done. It's a minute more than I'm doing.
Any hurdles you've had to jump over so far on prep?
Any hurdles? Yeah, so let's talk about it then, because it's not so much I ever want to focus on. So I never really want to talk about injuries per se, especially when I'm dieting, because you don't want to like bring them to light. But I damaged my shoulder about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. We don't know the cause of it because I refused to have a scan and that sort of thing, because once we know exactly what it is, then everything feels 10 times worse. Whereas in my head, I'm just going through it. I'm like, nothing's going to stop me no matter what. And I don't need to know that negative. If I've torn my shoulder, it's looking like it's infraspinatus or infraspinatus, however you want to say it.
So it's a slight strain.
Yeah, it's a slight strain. And that is why we have really ramped up the recovery side. And that's why we're doing it here, actually, to talk about it. So I have been doing ice baths every morning with sauna, so contrast therapy. I've been doing red light therapy every day for 10 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon when I'm eating, and 15 minutes at night. We've been having deep tissue work, Johnny, haven't we?
Did we do 3 last week?
I think we did 3 last week.
2 or 3 last week.
Yeah, got cryotherapy. I'm literally throwing everything at it. I have backed off training for a week and a half. Only, I say back off training, I'm going at 80%. I'm still going flat out. I'm just not loading it like I would normally load it, and just gritting my teeth through it. But yesterday was a big turning point, because I decided that was it. I've got to start going full ham now again. We're at the 5-week mark. I'll sort it out after. And my shoulder held up very well. The trained shoulders, I loaded it quite well, and I'm happy with where we're at. Doesn't mean we're going to back off all the protocols we're doing at the minute. That's why Johnny's here today. We're going to really get in there again, especially after shoulders last night. And it's not affecting the way it looks, the way it poses. So that's the main thing. Other than that, that's the only niggles.
That's the only one.
Yeah, everything else we're where we should be, aren't we?
Yeah.
But that's no more. It's
No
gone.
more.
I don't know actually. Thoughts about Dark? Gio, Ryan, any thoughts about Dark Horse? Who's Dark Horse?
I don't know, is there on about someone at the Olympia that might be a dark horse that would break top 3?
I think, if you're going to say about the Olympia, I think a possible dark horse could be, I'm going to butcher his name now. I don't know how to say it because I've never actually met him. I've only ever seen him on social media, and he is phenomenal. He has beautiful genetics for men's physique, and it's from Indonesia. Issa. Please apologise if I've said that wrong, but have a look at him. He's coming in as I think he's going to be a dark horseman. I think he has the potential to be the top flight, to be in the top 5. This year is a big opener for a lot of people, because a lot of the big names who've been in the industry a long time, who've earned the right to be up in that top 10, aren't doing it this year. So it does leave the door open for new up and coming stars to really shine through. And I think that will be it. I think obviously a lot of people are backing Ali, which is good, because he's had a fantastic run with the Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro this year. Working with George Farah has massively improved his physique and his peaking. He's always had a class physique, but obviously George knows how to peak him well, and he looks phenomenal. Erin, it's his redemption year. This is what he keeps saying. It's about redemption this year. So he's gone quiet. I think he's humbled himself a little bit and just focusing on being the best version of him rather than doing all the talking and doing the shouting. I think he's realised it's time to work. It's time to get back at it. So it's going to be a dogfight up there, and I'm actually looking forward to that. I want it to be. I'm not going to lie. I'm really disappointed if Brandon's not doing it. I'm not 100% convinced Brandon's not doing it. I just feel like it's too big of an opportunity for him not to do it. The 60th Olympia. He's got an amazing track record there. He's one off tying from Jeremy Wendy. I just can't imagine that being it for Brandon. He could possibly do it. I don't know. But if he's not, like I say, it's opened it up a lot. And I would be disappointed if he doesn't do it, because he has always been my driving force. He has a phenomenal physique and he's world class, and he's 3 times Mr. Olympia. So people like him push me. People like him make me get out of bed because I know I have to be at my best to even come close to them. So yeah, we shall see. Time will tell. In my head, I've convinced myself he's doing it because that's what's pushing me. Can we have one more collab between Ryan and Seabum, please? We shall see. Watch this space then. Watch this space. You never know. Only a few weeks left until you go. Right, guys. I'm going to sit here. My bottom is killing because it's freezing tiles. Come over hither with me. I'm going to get in the normal set. Could you just hold it, Will, please? Whilst I get set up. But keep the questions going. Oh. Come in. Has anyone ever used the Normatex or the high price sleeves? I'm a massive fan of these. They give you like heart palpitation, which sounds wrong, but when you get off of them, you feel absolutely amazing. You do feel a bit drained, but it's basically about lymphatic drainage. It's to help with releasing all the toxins and all that kind of stuff in the leg. So post leg day is absolute class. And it's just an excuse really to get away from screaming kids when you've had them all day. Right, I won't be able to read that.
I'll read some out.
You're going to read some out to me. Cool.
Is that a bit of a random one as well? What movies or seasons would you recommend?
Yeah, so what movies or what documentary series would you recommend? So, I'm not a massive, I don't watch a lot of TV, but obviously when I'm prepping in the fasted cardio, I do an hour. So I always try and find a documentary or a series which I can watch one episode each day. And I've really got into, and you probably will have watched all these anyway, but these for me, and I've actually re-watched one at the minute, Receiver and Quarterback. Basically, it follows all quarterbacks and receivers in the NFL, all the top guys. And it really does give you a massive insight into their dedication, their commitment, their skills, their work ethic, what it takes to be the best in their specific sport. And for me, as an athlete, as a competitor, looking at their mindset and listening to them and trying to correlate things to yourself as well, it's just so inspiring and motivating. And for me, every morning watching that and seeing how hard they work, that speed on that treadmill goes a little bit faster every day when you're watching it, and you just want to work, and you just know what they're putting in, and it makes you want to put it in as well. So honestly, watch it. You'll have so much more respect for quarterbacks and receivers if you don't really know the game of American football. And then also, which is a classic, I'm on the last episode, and I've watched this already numerous times, The Last Dance. Michael Jordan, it follows obviously NBA, it follows the 2-3 peaks, and it just again talks about his mindset, shows that he was just one of a kind, and he would have done anything to win. And his work ethic, his professionalism, everything is something I admire massively, and you could take so much inspiration from it. So for me, I want to try and watch stuff what's going to give me the feel-good factor, what's going to really put me in a good headspace, and kind of you can relate to it in some ways with your own prep and what you're doing in your life. So they're the three what I would suggest getting your teeth stuck into. There's obviously Swamp Kings as well, isn't it, John? Do you remember that?
Yeah, really good.
Swamp Kings is a good one as well. Again, it's about the NFL, but it's college, college football, but still really, really good, very inspiring.
Clarkson Farm.
Oh yeah, Clarkson's Farm as well. That's that's really good. Can't wait. I've watched them all now, but Clarkson's Farms is a very different one. It's not motivating or anything like that. It's just a feel-good watch, and it's something, especially if you're in the UK, you should definitely watch, because it shows you our farming industry and how messed up it is, and how we should respect them a lot more and support them a lot more than we do. So Clarkson's Farms, great shout, Will.
Your predictions for the Open and Classic this year.
So we were going to actually do a video on this. We will do a video on it, but I'll talk about it because that's it. We're going to have to.
Training with wears like here.
Yeah. So for the Open, I'm going to say Derek's going to take it. I think Hadi looks very, very impressive this year. He always looks impressive. I'm a massive fan of Hadi just because I've always favoured aesthetics and condition over size, and Hadi brings both of that. Like his muscle density, maturity, his cleanliness of his muscles are just phenomenal. I was shocked when Derek won last year, not because he's not worthy of it, because Derek has phenomenal genetics and he will reign supreme as Mr. Olympia for a long time. I'll say that now. I just felt like the year before, obviously, Hadi won it. Hadi came in just as good, if not better, and so did Derek. So technically, you're supposed to really overthrow the current Olympia by a landslide to win it, and I just felt like it was too close to call that. But now Derek's got it. His genetics and his work ethic, how he's improving each year, he will hold that for a long time. So I'm going to say Derek Lunsford's going to win it. I think Hadi will be second. I think Samson will get third. Andrew Jacked fourth. And I do think between them two, Andrew Jacked and Samson, that's going to be a battle as well. And it's not, I don't know, it just depends because they've got to stand together. So Andrew Jack, I'm a massive fan of Andrew Jack's physique. Reminds me a bit like Sean Roden, even Patrick Moore's, different sizes, but just very clean, very symmetrical, really, awesome physiques. But obviously Samson is an absolute monster. And looking at his pictures just recently, his updates, when he's been out with Kuwait and doing things over there at the Camel Crew, he looks like he's conditioned and full. And if his legs can come through a little bit more straight and just be a bit more conditioned, well, I won't say conditioned, a bit more, what's the word, defined, I think, he'll take it. Then Andrew fourth. And Nick probably fifth. Rubiel's out. I would love to see Rubiel on the Olympia stage, but he's out of Italy this weekend, so I can't see him qualifying now unless he does UK. I'm not sure he might do UK. I would love to see Beirut on there. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Whether he gets a visa or not, I'm not sure. But he could be a strong contender, like in the top 5 if he was to get there. Classic physique, I'm going to say, obviously Seaborn, my boy. I think he will win it, definitely. I think he's just far more superior in every shot for what they're looking for in classic. Wesley, I think, could take second because Wesley's really coming to his own now, and the things what you'd say was slightly weak, like he's slightly wider waisted than Ramon and Seaborn. He's brought everything else up, which now looks like he's more tapered, and his maturity in his chest, his legs, his shoulders, in every muscle part now, what he displayed at the Arnold was phenomenal. And I think he could push Chris, but I think he's going to come in second. I've got a feeling he's going to have second, then Ramon third, and then possibly Urs fourth. Sorry? Yeah, 212. We're going to talk about 212. Keon just looks incredible. Like, I was blown away. He did this update a few days ago, and you just can't pick fault with that physique at all. It's a shame because I would love. It's never going to happen, and it's just you're going to have to judge off pictures and stuff like that. But I'd love him to stand with Flex Lewis, and I know that's a big shout to say that, but obviously Flex was, no one touched him in the whole 7 years he was there. Like, he was just a standout every year. But like, it would just be good to see them both toe to toe, and see the outcome of that. I don't know the outcome of that, if I'm honest. Maybe put some comments in what you think out of the two who would get it. But massive fan of Sean Clarida. He's just an amazing guy on and off stage. So I'd love to see him do well again and battle it out there. I think, yeah, second on that. Yeah. Any other questions? Sorry, we'll move on.
We got
Oh, men's physique. I
men's
didn't
physique,
predict men's physique.
after Ryan Terry takes first.
I think you'll have to wait and see. Right, what's the next question?
What are your go-to pump up exercises backstage?
Go-to pump up exercises. So, I'd always take some bands with me. So in the Olympia, we're fortunate we do have weights and there is a little mini gym there and stuff, so you can get stuff to pump up. But I always take bands just in case because I like to stay out of the way whilst everyone's in each other's faces, sizing each other up and fighting for weights. You don't necessarily need all that for pumping. So I like diamond press up because you're incorporating tricep, chest, shoulders, everything like that, but really slow. A lot of people like fire them out, but just really slow and just slowly get blood into your chest and into your triceps, and nice and slow. And then a bent over like row with bands just to get blood into the back and the bicep, and also you can obviously do curls with the bands as well. So they're what you want to focus on. I wouldn't focus too much on doing any ab work. A lot of people start hitting their abs to like make them pop, which is all right. But if you've got very dominant abs, like I have very dominant abs, that if I tense them too long, if I train them too long, they go very swollen and blocky because of the amount of blood that rushes to them. So if I train them backstage and come out, I'll look blocky and big through my midsection and wider waist. So I tend not to touch that at all. What was I saying?
We got, how do you balance being on prep and competing with family life? What's the hardest part?
Yeah, that's a good question, that is. I have a very understanding wife, even though it is difficult and it does take its toll on us. Like, you only see on social media, it's like a highlight reel, so you only see the best parts and the best versions. But it's hard when you've got two young kids who are very demanding. They don't know what you're going through. They don't understand your emotions and how hard you push it. All they want is daddy to play and whatever. And my wife Amy, she's like she takes over a lot as we get to this stage around the 6-week mark inwards, because this is where I really need to knuckle down and focus, and I'm tired. So our relationship, I won't say it's non-existent, but it comes on the back burner because we haven't got time for everything in the day. So we're both understanding of it. I've booked a family holiday, literally the day we get back from the Olympia, because that's what I've always done. That gives us a focus as a family straight after the Olympia to go and spend quality time with each other and recoup about all the time we've lost over the 6 weeks prior to it. But it is hard with the kids, especially my daughter doesn't sleep through the night and she's screaming and trying to get to sleep while she's screaming or whatever. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult. But my training, I can train any time of the day. So my work and my family life, my social life, if we're doing anything with the kids on it, that comes first, and then I'll fit my training around it. People who say you can't, it's just making an excuse. If you want something bad enough and you want the best of both worlds, you will make it happen. It's just harder than the norm.
When's the next RT Fit Day?
Oh yeah, I'm still getting over the other one. So when's the next RT Fit Day? They'll be celebrating Olympia. Confident affirmations. So it'll be after the Olympia now, because obviously we're only 5 weeks away. I'll be going on a holiday. So I'd like to do it this side of Christmas because it was such a good day. It was a testing day to see how many we could hold, how much the staff can take. But it was phenomenal. I was absolutely buzzing from ear to ear. It was such a good day. Although I'm going to have to repaint all the walls because you won't believe what 300 people can do to black walls. But other than that, it was a great day and worth every pot of paint I'm going to be paying for. Anything else? I can't see the screen now, guys. Apologies. Hopefully you can hear me okay. actually going to call this in a minute because it's 10:30. I'm starving and I'm going to jump in that ice bath in the sauna. Do you want to see me in the ice bath? As a finisher?
Grand finale.
Yeah. All right, we'll do that. Right, Connor, we've got 1 more minute on this. Ask me some more questions.
How does your nutrition change when you go to America? Does it change drastically, or is it very much the same as what it is in the UK?
So my nutrition, it changes slightly. Most of it stays the same, other than steak, and it's still the same, still a red meat. But I go for bison when I get over there instead of like fillet steak or red mince over here, just because it's a lot leaner, it's higher in protein, and it's just a great source of protein. But we just can't get it over here. But it's fantastic and it tastes unbelievable. But other than that, avocados the same, eggs the same, chicken breast, salmon, everything is the same. My blueberries, oats, almond butter, yeah, everything stays exactly the same.
What will be your go-to victory meal?
Can anyone comment? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to put your comment. What's my go-to meal post Olympia? Where do I always go and where do I take my team? And my team, when we go, have to have this meal. Like it's like a given. Unless you're Johnny, who doesn't like cheese, is a weirdo, who doesn't like cheese. So he don't have cheese on his burger. Oh, I've screwed it away. Shit. Yeah, it's a burger. I basically go for Cheesecake Factory, Smokehouse Burger. I'm not a massive fan of just like a McDonald's burger or In-N-Out burger. It just tastes like cardboard to me. I want a decent.
Shepherd was in there with Cheesecake Factory.
Was he? Good lad. He knows. He's a fan. You're up here now, mate. But no, it's Cheesecake Factory, Smokehouse Burger, sweet potato fries, possibly an Oreo milkshake or a cheesecake after. But I just like a quality burger, and I'm not fussed about like the fast food burgers. So for me, all the burgers I've ever tried, that is just on another level. So I tend to step off stage. I'm quite full and tired after stage because don't forget we've carved up, we've had things backstage, you've had maybe a cookie when you come off stage or something like that. So you're not massively enamored and hungry. So I typically wait till the next day because you're going to appreciate it 10 times more. That's what I think anyway.
Is that before or after the bowl of oatmeal?
I have my oatmeal in the evening, so I always have like a big bowl of oats because this is really sad. This I'm gonna sound like a weirdo, but I really love my oats when I'm dieting. Most people do because I have chocolate orange in it or chocolate mint. So in the morning, never feels enough. Like 100 grams when you're starving, you've done fasted cardio, and you're opening the floodgates for the day, and you're starving hungry. All I crave when I'm dieting on prep is just more of the same food I've got. I love the food I eat, so I'm not craving anything else. I just crave more volume and just to be full up. So when I step off stage, typically I go home and have a massive bowl of oats, like a ridiculous size of oats, but way too much protein in it, way too much almond butter in it. Even still put my blueberries in, but I just sit there with this big egg of oats. One, you don't feel bad for it because your stomach's used to it, just more volume, so you digest it nicely, ready for your burger tomorrow. You feel full, you feel good, and that's what I tend to do. But we're going to end this here. I was going to jump in the ice bath in front of you, but I'm not because I'm starving. It's 11:15 and I need to eat. I'm 15 minutes over eating. But is there any other wrap-up questions just quickly? And then...
Do you do cardio off-season?
I do cardio off-season, yeah, but not before my breakfast. So I'll do a walk with my dog, but I'll eat my breakfast first because I wake up hungry. I wake up starving every morning off-season. So I want to differentiate from being on prep. When I'm on prep, I have that mental toughness and mindset to have to go out and not eat and train for an hour before you eat. I don't want to do that all year. So when I wake up, I'm hungry. I have my meal, and then I'll go and do some cardio, like 30 to 40 minute steady state, enjoyable walk. It's not timed or all that kind of stuff. It's just an enjoyable walk. But guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Johnny's dying in the sun. He's been trying to get out for ages. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. We are going to do more of these, like I say. So stay tuned for the next one. Hopefully you'll subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you're liking the content. I'm just trying to bring you in on a different type of feel to my content. Obviously, before you've seen me on prep, you've seen very structured videos, the same old. Like these are me trying to interact with you like I would friends, just a bit more personal, a bit more and hopefully you're liking the content. But the jawline is definitely coming in, John, isn't it? Just to give you an update. It's not old age. It's not old age. Just to give you an update, though, we are weighing in at 210 pounds now. So I've dropped quite a lot of weight this week, which means I'm 8 pounds over stage weight. So I've got to kind of slow the process down a little bit. I've got ahead of myself. I've got to be on stage at 202. I'm 210, so we're in a comfortable spot, so I can't lose any more too quick. But yeah.
Do a physique update Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll do a physique update and like a real recap of the Olympia, where we're at on Sunday. So what day is it today? Friday. So 2 days time, we'll do a proper recap of where we're at, physique wise, that sort of thing, and you can really throw some shade at me then. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel, comment below if you want to watch anything else or see anything else, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.